Well, I am not an Italian. No, most people know me well, but Ruth was somewhere the other day, and this woman insisted that you married an Italian prisoner. No. Oh, yes, you did, because I know him quite well. No, not an Italian prisoner. Oh, yes, he was. He was an Italian prisoner. I wasn't, you know. I used to look after Italian prisoners when they were here.
Where were they then?
They were actually, their camp was at Waterloo. You know Waterloo, just the other side of Uffculme?
Yes.
They were in Nissen Hut camp. Yeah, Waterloo.
That's where the Italians
That's where they were, but they used to bring them up in lorry every day.
What, to work in the farm?
Oh, yeah, and we had them up at Burrow Hill where I was. And my mother was up there at a while, at one time when we were bombed out, and she was up there where she spoke Italian, you see. So she used to do the translating for him, yeah.
His mum was hanging out the wash, and she was as deaf as a post. She'd been deaf since she was about 17.
She saw these Italian prisoners picking up apples up the top of the orchard.
Well, I don't suppose she did it on purpose.
I think she did. I think she did.
Your mother?
Yeah, I think she done it as a joke.
In the song Old Solo Mio or something
In
like that.
beautiful Italian, because she had a lovely voice and she spoke beautiful Italian.
And these Italian prisoners just dropped their apple buckets, picking apples, dropped their buckets and ran down.
They just couldn't believe it. You imagine they were out there, and then they heard Old Solo Mio, all in beautiful Italian, and she said they went, like, they dropped their apples and they all came down and they went mad. They were all crying, you know. These blokes were, remember, they'd been away from home and, you know.
Away from home.
Yeah, and
they were forced to fight with Mussolini, wasn't it?
That's right, they did want to fight, you know.
Young guys.
Country you just wouldn't expect to hear it.
Oh, how lovely.
Yeah, and after that, my God, they used to make her baskets and all sorts of things, you know. She made them some spaghetti, but they couldn't eat it there. They had to take it away with them. They wouldn't let them, because they were picked up at a certain time in the evening. They had to walk to the end of the road, didn't they? They had to be down at the end of the road to be picked up by the lorry. So they couldn't stop and have tea or supper with us. So she used to make them these bowls of spaghetti up, and they used to take them with them, you know. Yeah.
Because it was very sad. My father told me that he had German prisoners working with him.
Yeah.
And how when it came time for them to go home, they would just lie down and cry because they didn't want to leave. Because they weren't sort of like real enemies.
No, they weren't the Nazi type. No, they were an ordinary working person. That's right.
To, go into the army.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Like our people were forced to go in; they didn't want to go in. Yeah. We had German prisoners as well around here as well. Oh yeah, we had.
And they helped out on the farm.
Oh yeah, they worked around the farms. You see, a farmer would say, "I want 3, or I want 1, or I want 2." Then some of them, they got so good and friendly with the farmers that they finished up lodging in with the farmer. So Wolfie had one, didn't he?
I was going to say, only 2 or 3 years ago, one came next door to see Mr. Ackland.
He worked for him years ago, and he just arrived on the doors. He found out, and he went to see him after all those years. Wonderful, isn't it? So he couldn't have been treated too badly, could he? To want to come back.
On the downside of that, we have that family who come to stay with us at our place, and she's the last. They were on the last Jewish. She was 5 when she came to England, and they were sent, she and her sister, by her parents out of Holland, and they were the last ones to get out, and the rest of the family were wiped out because they were Jewish.
They were Jewish, yeah.
But they're Dutch people. They came to us for about 6 or 7 years running, and she learned English in this sort of, what do you call it, refugee camp.
Yeah.